Our View is an award-winning daytime television show that focuses on encouraging teenage girls to overcome and rise above situations that teenage girls are faced with every day. The show focuses on real problems and real people. With a panel of young teenage girls, the show is more effective because of the teenager-to-teenager emphasis. Our View is real, educational, and gives a similar vibe to Girl Talk. The show's main objective is to inform, prevent, and educate young teenage girls about the issues they face daily. The show is teenage-originated to relate to its audiences and to set a safe and comfortable environment where teens can talk about issues that affect them the most. This week's show will be set in an ask and response discussion. We will be focusing on the variety of topics of preventing teen pregnancies, abuse, rape and molestation, STIs, infections, safe sex, and ways to overcome them. Today we are featuring a special guest by the name of Dr. D to help these teenage girls who are seeking advice. Now over to our panel.
Good morning and welcome to Our View. On today's show, we are going to be covering tough teenage girl issues from audience members and phone calls. Here to help us with some of our issues and questions is Dr. D. Good morning, Dr. D.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? That's good.
All right, our first audience member is Antonise. Antonise, what is your question today?
Hello. I recently found out that I was 4 weeks pregnant, and I don't believe in abortions, so what should I do?
Well, firstly, I would suggest that you go to your doctor to make sure you get the proper prenatal care so you and the baby will be in a healthy condition.
I agree with the doctor. I also think that if you are not in the right mind to have this child, that you should have the child and give it up for adoption.
I agree with Maisha in saying that you can put the baby up for adoption, but also if you have a family member that's really close to you or that you're comfortable with raising your child, you can also do that.
Our next question is from Cheyenne. Cheyenne, what's your question this morning?
2 weeks ago, I was raped by a family member, and I've been having nightmares and contemplating suicide. What should I do?
Cheyenne, first of all, I have to say that it's not your fault. I do believe that you need to tell somebody because not telling somebody is probably the worst thing that could ever happen to you. So if you can't tell the authorities or an adult, I suggest you tell someone that you trust and someone that you know will be there for you.
You might want to try calling a 1-800-SUICIDE to help you get through any emotional problems you're having, and they can lessen your chance of resorting to suicide.
And also go see your doctor to make sure you haven't contracted any STIs or that you're not pregnant or any other harm that can come from being raped.
Our next audience member is Octavia. Octavia, what is your question?
Hi. I've had about 3 different sex partners, and I'm worried that I have chlamydia. What should I do?
Well, chlamydia often has no symptoms, so I would suggest that you go see your OBGYN to make sure that you haven't contracted chlamydia. And I would also suggest that you maybe lower your number of sexual partners, seeing that you're at such a young age. And also make sure that you're using the proper contraceptions, because if you were, you wouldn't be worrying right now.
We have another audience member by the name of Brittany who has a question.
Yeah, me and my boyfriend have been dating for a while now, and he's ready to have sex. I think I'm ready, but I'm afraid of the consequences. So what should I do?
The main consequences out of having sex, Brittany, would be getting pregnant and catching an STI. Those are the main things that would come out of you having sex.
The first question you should ask yourself is, do you really think that you're ready to have sex? And what makes you think that you're ready to have sex? And I'm not encouraging you to have sex, but if you do decide to, then you should use the proper contraceptives so that you will prevent getting pregnant or having an STI.
I also think you should really think about your reasoning when doing this, because you don't want your reason to be just because he's ready. You need to make sure that you're ready and you really want this, not just to please him.
Our last question today is a call-in question from Bridget, all the way from Los Angeles, California. Bridget, what's your question?
Good morning. I've been with my boyfriend now for 2 years, and 6 months into our relationship, he started physically abusing me. I love my boyfriend, but I'm also afraid of him. So what do you guys think I should do to prevent myself from getting hurt again?
Bridget, I think your life is the most valuable thing to you. I also think that if you loved your boyfriend as much as you say you do, you would protect yourself. If he loved you as much as he says he does, then he wouldn't want to harm you. The safest thing I say is to get out of the relationship as soon as possible to be safe. No one should be able to judge how you run your life and how you live it. And I doubt very seriously that you would want to end up dead, so I would say no.
I agree. I think you should get out of this situation, because if you were to bring a child in this situation, then you'll be putting him or her at risk, and that wouldn't be good. So, and this person doesn't love you if they're doing this.
I feel that no one should be physically or mentally or abused in any way. So the best thing would be to get out of the situation. And if he really loved you, he wouldn't abuse you.
I encounter many patients on a daily basis that are victims of domestic abuse, and I think that someone sending me to the hospital to be bandaged up is not a sign of affection.
Thank you.
On that note, this will be the end of today's show. We encourage all you teenage girls to become superwomen who can achieve anything. We want to continue to uplift each other because this world is in our view. Until next time, America.